Yes, I think it is. Things that they're going to need to have are money to continue on, either with schooling or to get into the workforce, to either work full-time or help them to continue with their schooling. It all requires funds and help for them to be able to access their education, I think, is an important thing.
Yeah, I would say it is, and the reason why is because the family unit is falling apart. And 30 years ago, the family unit was providing that support. And so what's happening is these kids are growing up in these homes that are very dysfunctional, and so they have no support or in these homes. And so they go to these homes because of these issues. And so it's important that they learn life skills, because what I'm finding is 18 to 20-year-olds don't have the life skills to survive, because they've never been taught it, because their parents or caregivers or whatever have been too busy to care for them.
I would say that they channel their energies into productive things rather than get sidetracked by things that might not lead them in the right direction.
If they're leaving care, if they were been brought up by family or foster care, they wouldn't know how to take care of themselves or how to find a job that easily as other people who weren't brought up that way.
Seeing that they were provided the proper care, are they able to function with society, for example?
My main concern is a lot of them don't have anyone once they are out of care. I know for myself, all the foster kids we had, once they left, they were on their own, and they still had their support workers, but they weren't expected to go to them anymore because they no longer had a supervisor or someone telling them to go. So probably the main concern would be them still taking that initiative to seek help, or having people in place to help them if they need support, especially at that age when you're becoming an adult. You need someone there to guide you.
That they wouldn't get their schooling done that they needed to, or something like that. Like they wouldn't have enough money to. Because I think OSAP, you can only make a certain amount of money, and then you can't have it anymore.
I think my main concern would be, are they able to survive on their own? Because it's interesting, they say adolescence is becoming, I think that some people said that 27 years old is now the end of adolescence. So it's really grown over the years. And so I don't think that the kids are able to survive on their own, to sustain themselves as far as financially, emotionally, all that kind of stuff. So that's my big concern.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, not at my school where I went, but I mean, I did speak to a woman once, I remember, and she just told me to basically told me to go get help from someone else.
Yeah, well, those have, and there is no other support that you can get, and the OSAP you can only make a certain amount, so I think that there should be some other type of help for schooling.
Probably not to the extent it needs to be. I'm just thinking of, I have a niece who was in a home because she has some issues, and she actually had to go back to her own home because there wasn't enough support for her. She was living on her own, but she wasn't able to take care of herself. And so there was no one checking in on her, all that kind of stuff. And so even to walk into her place was just disgusting, but no one's ever taught her how to clean her home, herself, and to manage her finances.
Training, I would think, regardless of what they want that training to provide for them. Access to programs that could help them financially. Social services that could add support when needed, I suppose. Things to help support them in whatever they need to achieve further on.
Substance abuse, general mental health. I mean, I remember being that age, it was rough. Especially, you're away at school by yourself, possibly when you're 18 to 21, I was. So I mean, I could have used someone to talk to. I know the school, I went to the university, they had someone there, but they weren't as helpful as I thought it could have been.
One that's gonna keep them on track and make sure that they go to school and finish their goals and stuff. One that's actually, they're gonna care for them and make sure that they're not out all night partying.
I think the big thing is the type of support that's needed. I'm not sure how we would financially sustain it. You know, with all of our debt, especially in Ontario, because there's so much debt, like it would take a lot to provide the programs that I think are adequate. I think the issue is this: the original design was the family provided that support, and because families are getting divorced, you know, parents don't want to deal with their kids, then what they've taken that responsibility off the family, placed it on society, and there's so much need now that society can't handle it. So what I think has happened is this: not to be critical, but I think a lot of parents have given up their responsibility. They don't want to do it, and so they've said, okay, now we've brought these kids into the world. Now you, as a society, take care of them. And I think there needs to be stuff that can help them deal with society.
Well, I have a son that works in social services in Waterloo region, and I know there are many programs that are provided. I'm not acutely aware of. I assume those same services are provided here, but I don't know to what extent. But I think through the system that's there are programs to help these individuals. Helping them to access them or help them to be aware of them might be helpful, because I think a lot of people that age aren't really aware of what is out there and available to them.
No.
I don't, not really. I know like churches do, like some support, but nothing that'll help you find a job or live your life.
OSAP for school, and that's pretty much all I know.
Do you know what? I don't know any offhand. The only thing, like, yeah, no, I don't. To tell you right off, I wouldn't.